to look at this. This is a poll result. So this is a poll result here. This is Pew Research, April 25th to May 1st, and I want to talk about this. So, percent of which who say each of the following is blank in the country today. So this is American civilians, the shit fuck, dumb fuck population of America, the United States of dumbass motherfuckers. This is what they think the most important things in America are. Note that COVID is at the bottom. I'm not cutting anything off here, right? It's just at the bottom. COVID is the last thing on the list. COVID is dead last. As far as Americans giving a shit about anything, Americans are dead, or COVID is dead last. Like, 1 million people massacred in a eugenicist experiment. Fuck them. Inflation, though, oh my god. But this is not just the shit fuck Americans. Because again, shit fuck Americans have been born and bred to be fucking dumb motherfuckers. Our schools make Americans dumb. Our society makes Americans dumb. And our media makes Americans dumb. The whole system is designed to make Americans fucking stupid. They're all fucking dumb ass motherfuckers. So, let me explain inflation again. Is inflation real? Does it exist? Inflation. That's the thing about inflation. It's such a vague buzzword. It's a vague fucking buzzword, is what it is. Okay? It can mean anything. People will associate any problem that they face in their personal life. They'll hear a journalist on fucking CNN, so-called journalist, or a news anchor on MSNBC or Fox News talk about inflation. And they'll associate, like, oh, the pain at the pump with inflation. Goddamn, goddamn. Right? They won't associate corporate profits in price gouging with inflation because corporations are great. But they'll associate, right, oh, I'm struggling to pay for food. It must be inflation. Therefore, you know, Democrats are evil because inflation, even though most of this inflation crisis has nothing to do with the fact that Biden is president. Like, again, I'm down to shit on Biden all the time, and I will further in this segment. But the inflation crisis, I mean, right, this is not something that Biden has really much control over, right? A lot of this is just because of the supply chain issues with the pandemic, right? But again, now I want to be very clear, right? Let's say because of supply chain issues, let's say the price of wheat, I don't know exact numbers, so I'm going to use like even numbers just for the sake of argument. Let's say the price of wheat, to import wheat and to like get it onto the shelf in your grocery store. Let's say you own a grocery store, you're trying to get like wheat products, whatever, just bear with me here, tomatoes, whatever the fuck, right? Let's say the price goes up 10% on your importing and labor costs associated with getting it on the store shelf, right? Now, if that product, wheat, tomatoes, onions, whatever the fuck, right? If that product increases in price more than that 10%, they're taking advantage of you. They are price gouging you. They're taking advantage of a crisis to fuck you in the face, and not in the good dick way, all right? So, when the actual, and again, I'm just using numbers for the sake of argument. So let's say the cost of import increases by 10%. But then the price at the supermarket on the tag is up 45%, which for some products have doubled in price, right? Where is that extra percentage coming from? Or where is it going? It's going to their pockets. They're taking advantage of a crisis to fuck you. They're fucking you, right? But media isn't talking about that, right? They're talking about, oh, inflation. Oh, it must be the stimulus checks. Yeah. They're trying to train Americans to hate good things. Oh, the stimulus checks caused inflation. Yes, that's right. Yes, you should never be given anything good because then it's going to inflate the economy. Yes. Like, Americans are so stupid that they are believing that it was the stimulus checks that caused inflation, but not a pandemic. Why? Well, guess what? The reason, look at this, no one gives a shit about the pandemic. No one cares. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. So, of course, why would they think inflation is related to the pandemic? They don't care about the pandemic. They don't give a fuck. They don't fucking care. They don't fucking care. They just don't fucking care. Right? They don't care to think. They don't care to do their own research. They just regurgitate whatever the fucking corporate-owned media tells them. They don't give a shit. But let's analyze the rest of this poll. So, inflation is the biggest problem in the country. But next, the affordability of healthcare. I want to ask you a question. How the fuck is a motherfucker gonna say that the affordability of healthcare is a very big problem, but COVID, the biggest healthcare crisis in the country, is not a problem? Like, again, I'm talking about these shit fuck Americans. These shit fuck, dumb as a fuckface, dumbass motherfucking, don't even know how to fucking think Americans. That's what I'm thinking about. How the fuck?
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
How the fuck is someone going to say that healthcare affordability is one of the biggest problems in the country, but they don't give a shit about COVID? It's because Americans are fucking dumb. They're fucking stupid. They're fucking dumb. They're just so fucking stupid. But again, I really want to say healthcare is something that where the media circus around healthcare, right? The media circus around healthcare really doesn't outweigh people's personal experience, right? Everyone in this country has probably had to deal with shit fuck healthcare in this country, right? And how horrible it is. And no amount of media finger waving and saying, oh, healthcare in this country is great, actually, it's the best in the world. For whatever reason, I guess just because people take their health, their personal health, they don't give a shit about anyone else's health. That's why no one cares about COVID. They take their health problems seriously. Fuck my neighbor. Fuck my family. Fuck my grandparents. Fuck my kids. Fuck them. I only care about my health. Right? Because Americans are selfish fucking cocksuckers. Is this Pew? Yes, this is a Pew Research poll. So, but that is interesting that can permeate the media bubble. And I think we need to look at other forms of examples of that and follow that as a lead. But then we've got violent crime and gun violence. So 51% say that gun violence and violent crime, well, violent crime is 54, are a very big problem. But what are the solutions? What are people going to do about it? Are there solutions on the table? Gun control! Gun control! That's never going to happen. Do you think gun control is going to pass with a filibuster in the Senate? Nah, not going to happen. Maybe provide people mental health resources so that they, don't fall into crises that result in them getting guns and murdering people for no reason? Nah. That's other people's health care. I don't care about anyone else's health except for my own. Maybe we could reshape society so that we're not so atomized and that we don't hate each other just for simply existing. Nah, fuck that. Again, have you ever heard any solution to gun violence ever be on the national stage? Anyone in the media ever really talk about the mental health crises in this country that lead to things like gun violence, poverty, and other sorts of situations that lead to gun violence? They don't care about that. You see right-wingers talk about all the time in Chicago. It's goddamn killing each other in Chicago with guns. Every time you see one of these mass shootings when a racist fucking goes into somewhere and murders a bunch of people of color, you see the right-wingers that are like, well, what about Chicago? Goddamn gee willikers. You ever look at Chicago? And then you ask them, okay, so how do you fix the gun violence in Chicago? They don't have an answer because they don't care. But then this one is great. The federal budget deficit. 51% think the federal budget deficit is a big problem, plus 33% who believe it's a moderately big problem. But let's also look at the fact that not a problem at all is like not even, you can't even see the percentage because it's like 1 or 2%. The goddamn deficit. Apparently, like 97% of Americans think the deficit is somewhat problematic in any capacity. The deficit? Motherfucker. What? What? Like, imagine going out there in this society and thinking, like, you know what I really think is a major issue? The deficit. More than climate change, more than the quality of schooling, more than racism, more than the conditions of roads and water. Like, their water quality, the deficit, though, man, that's crazy. Can they get to work without a bridge collapsing? Who gives a shit? If I die in a collapse, I die in a collapse. But are they going to do something about the fucking deficit? What? Now, I also want to note, while we're looking at the not a problem at all category, what is the leading on this poll result? What is the leading thing that is not a problem at all? Not even a small problem, not like, oh, a little bit of an issue. COVID. 12% of Americans, they don't give a shit at all. They don't care in any capacity. We are fucked. Like, a lot of people, like, they see this stuff and their reaction is like, there's no way this is true. There's no way. There's no way it's true. Motherfucker, I can tell you this shit is real. I have met a lot of people in my life doing, like, internet stuff, you know. I meet a lot of people online. I've done activism in person. I've met a lot of people in person. I got a lot of family members, right, that I can use as scientific experiments, like, to listen to their conversations with each other, to, you know. And I can assure you, these motherfuckers are stupid. Americans are fucking stupid. I can assure you with 100% certainty that the average American is one of the dumbest motherfuckers on Earth's entire history. I can guarantee you. I guarantee it. But let's look back at this for real quick. Illegal immigration, 38% think it's a very big problem. Only 8% of the country, according to this poll, only 8% of the country don't think illegal immigration is a problem at all. Raise your hand if you're in the 8%. Only 8% of the country is like... But this is like, again, I really like the small problem thing, right? This is an important metric, right? Because people will hear something on TV, but they don't know anything. Like, if you ask them, oh, can you describe inflation? They couldn't do that. But if you ask them, how do you feel about inflation? They'll go like, well, yeah, damn. If you ask someone to describe why they think illegal immigration is bad, they couldn't do it. But if you ask them if they think it's bad, they'll go like, well, I heard people on the TV say that there was a problem, so I guess a little bit, right? They might not be, like, consciously being racist, right? They might not be, right, like actually, like, thinking about these things and have made a rational, logical decision, like, yes, illegal immigration is a problem. They just hear that in the zeitgeist, and by the zeitgeist, I mean mainstream news, right? They just hear that some people think it's a problem, so I guess it might be a little bit of a problem, I guess. 27% think that illegal immigration is a small problem. What? Like, honestly, like, I get it, right? The 50-ish% that think it's a moderate or big problem, those are the fascists. Those are the right-wing morons, right? And people that fall for their propaganda pretty easily. But, like, Like, really, 27% that think it's a small problem? Like, those are liberals. Those are, like, Biden voters. What? What? They think it's a small problem? Again, they don't think. They don't think it's a small problem. They regurgitate whatever they heard on the news. Oh, I heard Rachel Maddow say something about illegal immigration in X and Y, so I guess it's a small problem. I guess. I mean, man, this kind of shit really, like, it really fucks with your brain. This shit fucks with your brain. This is insane. This is insane. This is fucking insane. Like, reading this, like, this is like some, like fucking, like, suicide fuel. Honestly, like, seeing this kind of stuff is really damaging to my psyche. So I'm going to turn it off. Anyway, that's my segment on this poll. Fuck.